Hi everybody, this is BVB Rocks, and this is my first episode of my new series thing, where I review your stories. I will come up with a name at a later point. Okay, anyway, let's get right into the submissions. I have a really bad British accent, I don't know why I did that. Anyway, we have this episode, because I don't know if I'll be doing this weekly or not. We have 5 submissions from 4 different people. Yay, I feel so special. Anyway, our first one is from Girl with Cool Eyes, and she asked me to review her story, Will You Be My Helicopter? Now, I want to be as nice as I can here. I didn't really like the story. My first big issue, the first time I looked at it, grammar. It's just not present. I'm sorry, but nothing was capitalized. Things are spelt wrong left and right. You left out pronouns like the first sentence of your second chapter. The first chapter wasn't that bad, but the second chapter just went, I don't know. But it was, the first sentence was, oh, I'm sorry. And then right off the bat, I'm a huge grammar Nazi, so I freak out over that stuff. And yes, I'm wearing a bunny hat. Don't question it. But anyway, so I freak out over, like, I's aren't capitalized. So when you, like, leave out words and misspell stuff, my brain just goes, ah! So yeah, that's my first problem. My other problem was the plot. I didn't read that much because I didn't really like it, and I don't like reading stuff I don't like. I read the first chapter, which was really short, and the first chapter was okay. The second chapter, I read, like, the first 2 paragraphs. And basically what happens is Lexi's there, and then all of a sudden Holly's there. She's like 13, but she ran away from Maine somehow and managed to get all the way to California. I don't know how that happened. It was never explained to me. And then within the first 3 minutes, they fall in love, apparently. It seems a bit rushed. Okay, not a bit, it seems very rushed. It seems way too rushed. You didn't take your time, obviously. You asked me if you should keep adding more chapters or trash it. Personally, I would just trash it and rewrite it, because you do have potential. Like, if you got somebody to read over your chapters before you posted them, I would do it, but I have issues updating my own stuff, So if you got somebody to, like, beta your stuff and, like, fix the grammar, that would be good. And, yeah. And try slowing down your plot and making it a little less cliche and giving it a little bit more of a concrete storyline. And our next, okay, so on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being my immortal and 10 being the Dove Keeper, I would give it a 3. The next story is from Layla XX, and she asked me to review her story, If I Go Crazy, Then Will You Still Call Me Superman? This one I really liked. Basically, what's happening in it is Gerard has superpowers, and I'm not going to say what they are, and he's in this group of friends at school, and apparently they all have superpowers, and Frank's there too. And, like, Ray, and I think Bob, I'm not sure, yeah, Bob is there, too, it took me a second there, and so is Ray, so, like, they're all there, and they have a bunch of other friends, and it's really well written. There's, like, hardly any mistakes grammar-wise. My one thing about it is the amount of characters. Like, the first chapter was great, I loved the first chapter, but the second chapter, there were so many different characters, my mind was just trying to process it all, and I couldn't. Like, I couldn't remember the names of any of the characters. I still don't really understand how many people there are in total. So, sorry, my screen just went blank for some reason, but whatever, I'm just back. So, yeah, that's my one thing. Too many characters for my little brain to comprehend. Yeah. So, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate it a 7. Then, My Chemical Bitch Bop. First of all, I love you. I love your writing. She asked me to review her stories, F the Title, I Can't Think of One, and Smutty Rebel Love Song. The first one, F the Title, I Can't Think of One, I love. Actually read both of these before, so yeah. I mean, and I don't know what it like. And F the title, I can't think of one. Gerard's like this, like he has two sides, but not like a bad way, like Two-Faced. But it's like at school he's all like, OMG, it's popular Gerard. He's wearing an Aeropostale shirt and listening to crappy music. We all love Gerard. And then when he's not in school, it's all like, OMG, Gerard's so emo. He hits punk. He listens to good music. We all would hate Gerard if we knew he was like this, but he's not because we all only know school Gerard. And it's really, the whole Gerard dynamic thing is really interesting. I find it really fascinating how he can lead this double life, and it's like, I don't want to make a Hannah Montana comparison right here because I hate that show, but I love this story. And then he moves in with Frank as a foster child, and the reason he's a foster child is Gerard witnessed his parents murder, and his brother committed suicide, so he's all by himself. And I'm sorry, but when I saw that his brother committed suicide, I was all like, oh my god, it's Mikey's dead, Mikey's not gonna be here, because I love Mikey. But it's really good, like, her descriptions of Gerard and his struggle and stuff is like, oh, it's like just amazing. I love the story. I would give it an 8. And then Smutty Rebel Love Song. I've been reading this since you first posted it, and I'm proud to say it was inspired by my story. Yeah, my story. And I'm just like amazed I managed to inspire it. Okay, first of all, if you don't like smut, just skip this first chapter. It doesn't really have that much plot, but it's really good. So if you like smut, read it. If you don't read it. Basically, what it's about is Gerard and Andy start going out, and then Frank walks in on them doing the nasty, and Gerard and Frank used to go out, so it's like, oh, awkward, and so I forget how it happened, but somehow, like, Lindsay, who by the way is a barista at Starbucks. I just love that. For some reason, it just makes me happy that she's a barista at Starbucks. I have no idea why. And so they're doing this contest for Gerard. I forget how it happened because I got to go reread the story because I forget like the early chapters. I do that, but it's really good. Like, I'm amazed that I managed to inspire it, and it gets an 8 too, simply because I would give it a 9, but you can't get that close to Dove Keeper. You just can't. It's like the best fanfiction ever. If you haven't read it, you have to read it if you love Gerard. Read it. You, right there. You read it. I'll put a link to it down there. It's just amazing. I love it. I only on chapter like 13, but I would be farther if I had any time to do any of this. Anyway, the last one we have is Killjoy Mini Aero. She asked me if I could do both or either. I only had time to read one. I read the one, High School Never Ends by her. And it's well written. It's a high school fic. And it's well written. There's no grammar mistakes. But it's not that far into it. There's only like 5 chapters, but as I read it, I kept waiting for something to happen. I mean, I like the fact, again, there's a lot of characters in this. Like, I cannot keep them straight in my mind. But, there's My Chem Boys. Awesome. Then, Panic at the Disco came in, and I was like, oh my god, it's Brendan and Brian and meh. And then the Blackfield Brides people came in, and I was like, that's my brain exploding, I'm sorry. But, my problem with it is, its plot is too slow for me. I know. I don't like rush plots. I don't like slow plots. You can't win with me. And I'm not really partial to high school fics. There's like only like a few I like. Unless they're Fredwards. I have a weakness for those. I mean, I like the other stuff, but anyway. But it was good. It's just not my type of story. I'm sure other people love it. Just not for me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's well written. I just don't happen to enjoy high school fics that much. Anyway, so I'm going to go, because my mom's sick and I have to make her tea. So I'm gonna go. Links to all the stories will be down there if you're reading it on YouTube. If watching this on YouTube, if you're on Ficwad and I don't know if I'll type these reviews out. I probably won't because I'm lazy. If you're on YouTube, on Ficwad, I keep getting my words mixed up. If you're on Ficwad and the page you got linked to this from will have the links on it as well. And if you want me to review your story, just leave it in a review on the page you got this from. Okay, so bye. And I'll see you whenever I get enough submissions to do this again. Okay, bye. Hope you